You're back with Bek and Zach, and we have been on a beautiful journey of peace, starting with honesty, mourning and grief, and moving through. And Zach, you said something just a moment ago that we've sort of seen these as steps or places to take, but you called them blessings a minute ago.
Yep.
And I loved that word, to be totally honest, thinking about these things, because not everything we're talking about is easy.
Yep.
And it doesn't always feel nice in the moments. We've talked to,
Yep.
But it is a blessing.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from the next blessing on this journey?
Yeah. I was thinking about how every episode I'm starting saying you don't want to do the next one after the last one, because
You have said that a lot.
and how amazing the last one was, which is to pour out abounding love, like lavish love for no reason. You just love people, whoever it is, wherever it is, and you're not for a purpose. It's not I'll scratch your back, you'll scratch mine.
Right.
But just like, man, I just love it. Want to see everyone flourish, and I'm not keeping score of anything I'm doing, but it's hard to imagine a greater life than that, like what, this is awesome. I'm just full of love pouring out, and I have forgiveness and the freedom that happens when people forgive. I've seen so many, as soon as they forgive, their whole life changes. They let go of the need for revenge, and they just explode with life. Their face changes. Their relationships change. I mean, it's just like, what an amazing way to live life.
Yeah.
But there's more. and the more, I think of it, this next one as there's some professional rock climbers that, particularly when they're climbing in a crack or different things, the best in the world, there's often maneuvers where they actually have to go with their feet first. And that means they're completely upside down, reaching with their feet to get up to the next thing, because it's impossible to do for hands first, which again is a surrender hold. It's like, why on earth would I even attempt? I'm this far up this mountain.
Sure.
Like, why on earth would I even consider flipping upside down to solve the problem? But that's what I would describe this next one as, is this is the final surrender. And I would even use the term in this of letting go. It's almost like a death in it's the letting go of everything that's left in my heart about this relationship or about this situation. We've done the letting go of control, which is meekness and all that. You had to do that a while ago, and you should still be doing that as you're going through, if you're really still where you are in the stage of like pouring out mercy and love. But this next one is not just the letting go of control. It's actually the letting go of all the good stuff still in your heart. And this baffles people who haven't done it. But I'll try to explain it. It took me forever to explain this to people, because they couldn't figure out how I was seeing the stories I was seeing in these countries and these places that should not be having peace as far as every measurement. I should not be able to walk in and meet these militants and then see something break through so quickly in a day or something, seeing a major breakthrough. And I tried to explain it. I said, a lot of the people who were wanting those stories were frustrated when they'd hear my stories, because they couldn't have what they wanted, that result, but they couldn't figure out how to get it. And the reason is, and this is a strange way to say it, but it's whatever end you have in mind will be the obstacle to you ever achieving it. It's the very fact that you have a particular thing in mind, and say agenda or a desire, or it actually becomes the obstacle you can't get over to get there. And it's confusing because you're like, I'm up. It's very much like climbing a rock upside down.
And even then, like, yes, but also like there's a destination in mind.
Yeah.
So like, what's the difference between having a destination in mind versus the how to get there?
Yeah. I think it's like where you hit that writer's block of like, we're saying peace is like a poem, and you don't know what you're writing until it's finished. Like, it's a bit of that. If you know, and you're holding on to what you want this to look like at the end, and you're still holding on to like, I want this to be this, it stifles the actual flow of the creativity that could end up being a poem or art or all that. It's just that little last bit where you have to let go of even what you want this piece of art to look like, for it to truly have its full expression.
Yeah.
And it's just so backwards to pretty much most of our world, which is, well, I want C.
It's strategy, it's outcomes,
A,
it's
B,
KPIs. Those aren't inherently bad, but like.
No, and those function, all of those things function well when you're doing engineering or when you are mapping out a business strategy or all these things. Like, there's certain aspects of life, particularly dealing with matter and things, that there's a predictability and you can work with the laws of whatever, physics or economics. And so we think that will work with people.
Right.
And it absolutely doesn't. It's a totally different economy, totally different laws with people. And when we try to map our spiritual life and our relational life and our emotional life to some business model or some physics model, it just does not work.
So let's just think about that for a minute, because I get a lot of pleasure from relationship and doing things together. It's just the way I'm wired. And so accomplishing a strategy productively with someone, like that makes me feel more affection and attachment for that person.
Yeah.
Is peacemaking more about the relationship with the person, or is peacemaking the solutions that are going to allow us to thrive? Or is the convergence of that, is there a convergence that's helpful to us to consider right now? Yeah. Or is it a distraction for us to consider and we need to just focus on the relationship?
Yeah, I think the key is in that first layer that we talked about, which is to be fully honest and humble. If you and I honestly decide we want to work together to accomplish this task or create this program, then it totally fits within this whole framework, because that we've agreed. It's not a hidden agenda. I think that's the difference, is the hidden agenda, the secret, what I'm really hoping for is not clear to the other person.
Yes.
Then they, it gets in the way. It stifles everything. But we can...
Because I'm thinking in the context of like my relationships, but I'm also thinking in the context of like, the communities that you're supporting and like, what are those blockages there? Yeah. But if it is that hidden agenda, it's like, yes, if we're honest, we've agreed on an outcome. Yeah. This is the way we walk it. Yeah. So that's landing.
And so that key is like the honesty. And so you could work side by side with someone and have incredibly rich relationship and go through all of this with them. But it's key that it's all done in complete transparency and honesty, and you agree on where you're going and all that. But that may mean that I have to let go of my remaining little hopes of something, or especially, it's the biggest one with this, especially with parents or different friendships, is like, oh, I see the potential in you.
Absolutely.
Oh, and you could be, and I see what you could be. And it's like, that sounds so loving, and it really feels like it is, because you're like, I can see you're so amazing in this, but you're just not living up to your potential. What that means is you have an ideal of this person that hasn't been realized and maybe never will be. Right. And you're still like kind of hoping for them to be that, instead of letting go of although I see the potential, I let that go. It's not real.
And it really is an elevation of self too, because I don't know everything.
Yep.
I may see a strength in one of my kids, but I don't see it all. I'm still
Yep.
seeing through my own lens, and that I'm saying, I see
Yeah.
better than you. I know better than you. So
Yeah. Well, and
again, coming back to that first one of humility.
yeah, I think with this one, one illustration I'd like to give is where you see this at play is I've been in churches or in teams or different places where someone really wants to be that person, the person that people go to, and they might even like label themselves that, like I'm really caring and comforting, or like they're like self-titling because they're kind of reaching to be that, and that nobody goes to them. Like everyone's like, oh, because as soon as we feel that they are like, they want this relationship to be something it's not, and they're reaching for it and clamoring for it and grasping for it, it's like everyone's repulsed in that very same way. And it's exactly the people who aren't trying to do any of that become that. And there's like a jealousy that can occur from the ones that are clamoring for that position of trust and all that. And then the ones who aren't even thinking about it, aren't even trying to do that, are the ones everyone trusts and goes. And that's where I think I'm not wanting to make too much of a political statement, but it's like anyone who wants the leadership and the power is probably not the right person for the job.
Sure.
And the ones who are quietly not at all interested in getting power and are the ones you can trust.
Sure.
And it's like, it's this last dynamic, it's scratching at it of this, like, can you let go of that last bit of what you desire for a community, for the other person, and even for yourself? Can you let go of
Can you tell us a story where that moment hit, maybe a room you were in, where that last little hidden agenda went, this isn't going to matter? Or maybe the opposite.
Yeah.
There wasn't breakthrough because there was someone just holding on to.
Yeah. I could think in several moments for me, I was just stuck. I could only go so far.
Yeah.
I could be really loving with people, but I couldn't quite get to the core of what was going on in a community. And it was fine. Like, you can get a lot. I mean, there's so much blessing in these layers of, wow, we're seeing amazing things. People are forgiving and all that. But I couldn't quite get to some of the core places of connection. And my situation is quite extreme because I'm going into war zones and things. And I'm genuinely wanting to see if peace really can be made, even between militant groups and different things. But I wasn't getting invitations to those places. I wasn't really invited into the real guys who were doing the killing. I was invited into those who were victims 10 years later, or they were close. They suffered from the conflict, and they need to forgive and they need healing. But I wasn't right in it, and I think it was because of this dynamic. I was still trying to be the peacemaker, and I wanted to be the peacemaker, and as long as I was still kind of holding these great visions, like, it's a great thing, I want to see peace in South Thailand, I want to see peace in the Philippines and in whatever, but as long as I was thinking I was that person, or wanting to be that person, or just wanting to do that, somehow there's a wall that I could never be it. And it was only in me surrendering even the best outcomes, that even if nothing happens and this never goes anywhere, that's okay. Yeah. I'm still going to step in and try my best to be with you and see where this goes. And I'll be with you even if it goes bad. I'm not like just in for my program and then didn't work. All right, see you later. It's like I started to have my heart open, especially to Afghans. I have so many amazing Afghan friends around the world that have had to flee because of the war, and ones that are hiding. And I realized my heart had changed from wanting to do a program with them to see something cool happen to actually, I just you're my friends, and wherever this goes, I'm going to be with you. And if you need help, I'm going to try to help you. And when internally, when I let go of even needing to see peace in Afghanistan, as much as I would like it, I still like hope for it, but I've let go of any need or expectation that I'm going to do that. Ironically, the doors flew wide open to make a real impact, and people welcomed me to do the things that I let go of, that I wasn't trying to do anymore. And right as I did that, I started getting invited into active conflicts and meeting with the active fighters, and I'm seeing things that I could never have imagined, but I know it only came in letting go of any of that, needing any of that, wanting any of that. It's like the final death of ego and me being the main character of anything in this. It's the irony is when you do that, you're probably the one that will be highlighted to step in to do those kinds of things, because it's only when that it's in the journey of blessing is called being pure in heart. And that purity I used to think meant getting rid of all the bad stuff. But I think in this last stage, why it's so upside down, you're climbing upside down, is you're actually letting go of all the good things. And I think that's on a bigger scale of peacemaking. And I don't see a lot of people that we're getting into rare air,
But
very
I'm
few get up
thinking,
that mountain.
Yeah, not many people are going to go to conflict zones.
No.
That's the reality. But a lot of us work with hurting teenagers in a city that we live in,
Yeah.
And I think the thing that is hard about what you're saying in some ways, like I think as people, I know there's flexible people, but we do like some sense of routine, and the fact that we can get up and do an action that will lead to an outcome.
Yep.
It's almost like, I see a lot of people like, hey, I love to run programs for young people.
Yeah.
Relationships are not predictable.
No.
And they take a lot. There's a lot of blessing, but they can take a lot of energy in the things that you're saying, and a lot of surrender. And it's, are we willing to take that step that there's a lot of good things we can do, but are we willing to lay that down in the context of just relationship?
Yeah.
And what that might do to our days, what that might do to our schedule, what that might do to the way we live as people, our comforts of, did I do what I should have done today? All those things. There's a lot to die. What would you say to someone just in their day? Maybe it is work, maybe it is family, maybe it's some kind of service that they are doing, working with disabled people or homeless people or young people.
Yeah.
How do we let that go and move to a greater way?
Yeah. I mean, I get asked a lot, because when I talk about this being like, this is the final death, like you really die, and not in a literal sense, but in a sense of a death of your ego. And people are often asking me, but how do I know if I'm dead? Like, I think I might be dead. I think I might have let go. And I'm like, you'll know. If you have to ask, you're not dead yet. Like, and I often would say, how do you check if something's dead? You just poke it.
Yeah.
And you see if it responds.
Yeah.
And you go, and when you get poked, you'll see if you're dead or not. What rises, what comes out of you. Does anything, or are you the same no matter what poking and stuff comes your way? That's when you've really hit a new layer of unbelievable blessing available. But it's all through, like, I think thinking about, in the beginning we said, what are your fears?
Yeah.
You could probably look at that list and you'll probably be able to deduce what are your hopes. Because your fears are probably the opposite of what you're hoping for. And this would be the space where you go lay out all your dreams and hopes for your family, for your friend, for your service to the world or whatever, and lay all those out, and then go on a process of, can I let this go and release the outcomes? of all of these things. Obviously, I'm not releasing hope. Of course, I hope there's going to be peace in
Well, that
Afghanistan.
comes back to the honesty piece again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can I let go? Because of course I hope there's peace in Afghanistan, that real right relationship between all the tribes, and no more war, and men and women are flourishing. But I lay down my hope of ever seeing that day, or being a part of that day, or all these layers of what I'm still holding onto. Like, well, but I want to. It's like, I don't. Even if I never see it, I just let go of even all my desires of my part in that, but also I let go of what I think that will look like. But it's Afghanistan's one aspect, but like if it's with a friendship where something has gone wrong, we've been broken, and we're trying this journey, and I've gone all the way through the pain, and I've got to this place of abounding love and forgiveness, and this is the last space where I have to let go of what the relationship was.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist anymore.
No.
That whatever it's nostalgia. Nostalgia won't get you to peace.
Yeah.
You can hark back to whatever glory days, and then it will never take you forward. But also, you don't want idealism, which is really what this one's about: is letting go of all your ideals, what you hope and dream of for that friendship, and what you want it to be, and how you wish they would be, and what you want them to say to you. Let go of all that. And then you might actually be able to meet that person in reality as they are, and embrace them with the good. Remember the beginning is humility is to not be better or less than you are, to be just exactly who you are. This is the stage where you're letting everyone in the world, and whoever it is you're thinking of, be exactly who they are, with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I still accept you no matter where this goes. I want to actually be in relationship with you in the reality, and that will be painful. You won't always say what I want to sit here. I'm okay with that. I'm still going to be here and go forward. And that is just literally like climbing upside down. We go, whoa, there's no way. I'm not going to flip myself upside down this high up. And this is so high risk. How could I let go of the last remaining good things I'm holding on to? But I'm just here to say it's the only way to a deeper level of blessing that you can't fathom before you do it. Yeah. It's only on the other side of that death that you'll find there's something. But even if I tried to describe what's on the other side, it would just sound like gibberish, and it'd be in a language you don't understand until you've actually let go of those agendas. Yeah. And you then are able to have peace at a deeper level in yourself, because your peace isn't attached to what that person's response is going to be, or what that happens in that country, or any of that. You're in a different place of like stability that isn't hinging on a particular ideal happening. People serving ideals are really dangerous. They will kill for their ideal, because their ideal is so, in the name of this ideal, will destroy whoever's in my path to get there. And you have to die to that, let go of your ideals, and then let go of your nostalgia and find the present reality. That's when you really start to be present with people, and they recognize it immediately when you have done that. I've had people recognize when I've done that with them, and they don't even know I did it, but they change overnight. Sure. Like in my own self, privately, let go of every ideal. This person never needs to change. I'm not loving them. I'm not forgiving them so that they get somewhere. No, I'm just absolutely loving them, forgiving them, and I'm going to embrace them as they are. Even if it goes wrong, I'm going to stay. I'm going to be with them. And even if they go to prison, I'm going to visit them in prison. Yeah. And even if they die, I'm going to put flowers at their grave every day, every week. It's like,
and again, we talked about this, but for someone who may just be listening to this episode, we're not talking about violent relationships. No. You need to go back and hear the history, because there's a whole process for that as well. But you're talking about where
a deeper love.
Yeah,
that's like even. Well, and I mean, coming back to Jesus, I mean, that's the people that I think are the most fascinating in the whole story that get so little credit is his mother, Mary Magdalene, Salome, Johanna, and these women and John stayed with him to the cross, which is representing his failure. They wanted a king. He was going to be a king that comes, conquers the world. Jesus is king. And instead, he just gives up his life, dies. And everyone ditches him. All of his closest friends, closest people that have spent all these years with him, they go, he failed. Done. I'm out. Except for these people. They stayed and they watched him die and they couldn't help him. Still watched so he could look down and see someone he knew, which is an unspeakable act of love. Yeah. And then he dies. And they still love him and they wrap his body, they take care of him. And then he's in the grave. They still go and visit the grave to do more love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's a layer of relationship we don't see very often, but wow, what devotion and love and friendship. I want to have that with my people, whoever they are. Like I want to have that with, obviously with my wife, with my kids. It's easier to imagine that your mom's going to visit your grave, you know, like, but what if that's possible for more than just your closest family or your closest friends? What if we could actually get to a place where our communities have that for each other, where our cities have that for each other? That I know it's almost getting to the absurd in our minds, but I've seen it, that this can break through and you can reach a level of such deep love that even if this person fails me, even if it goes completely wrong, I'll still be there. Yeah. And I'm not just in for when it's good. And then as soon as you start going a different way, actually, I'm out. I'm not your friend anymore. As soon as someone realizes you love them that much, anything could happen in that relationship. It could go anywhere, places you never imagined, but it's just very rare to get that far, you know? Yeah. And because it's so vulnerable at this point. This is you are completely vulnerable to wherever it goes. Yeah. And
I'm just thinking about that image that we started with a rock climber on a hill. And like, I'm imagining just aching fingers from clinging and just dwindling strength in arms. And that moment where you realize that your next hand can't reach the next spot. And I'm imagining people feeling that way in their lives. And yes, it's upside down and it's crazy, but like the reality is, it is in that rock climber. It's not where they thought it was. They don't find the strength. They don't find the flexibility. They don't find the solution where they thought they would. Yep. Or in a place that makes sense, but it's in them. And I guess that's my encouragement if you're listening today. Like, it is in you.
Yeah.
And it may feel a little bit upside down, but it's in you. Thank you so much for sharing these stories. And I'm looking forward to journeying with you again.